welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, we're back. We're here. Hold on, let me get this camera right? Or at least I didn't think I had it right. But, guys, look, we're here. And it's on, baby. You know, it's on. Just a second here, right there. All right. So, college football rankings came on, okay? And Texas A&M comes in at number 3, right? They stay at the current spot that they were already in. And to be honest, man, look, it's no problem with that at all, okay? And I think I speak for every Texas A&M fan when I say that, man, we're just happy to be here, right? After what happened back in 2020. I don't think any one of us will ever forget that, right? So we're just glad at the fact that we're number 3, obviously, but we're that far ranked ahead, like at number 3 in the 12-team college football playoff. Can we finish the season undefeated is what a lot of people are asking, okay, right? And to be honest with you, right, and you guys have heard me come on here time and time again, and I'll keep on saying this, and until the end of the regular season. Yes, I believe so. I'm gonna say that once again. I believe so. I believe Texas A&M will end the regular season undefeated. Yeah, they go on the road. Of course, guys, I know this, but they also went on the road against Missouri. They won at Missouri. They won at Notre Dame. Right? They won at LSU. Blew LSU out, by the way. They won at Arkansas, in which, guys, they barely won against Arkansas. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see us say that already. Guys, they barely won at Arkansas. Yes. However, a lot of people won't say this here. 2 of those touchdowns got called back for Marcel Reed. I'm not going to get into that, okay? I'm going to just continuously keep on moving here. So, they come in at number 3. Ohio State comes in at number 1. Indiana remains at number 2. Number 4 was Alabama. They remain. Number 5 was Georgia. Number 6 was Texas Tech. I don't know if any Texas Tech comes in this podcast at all, but Texas Tech, shout out to you guys, right? Number 7 is Ole Miss. They went on ahead and just moved those guys down a tad bit. And number 8 is it's not BYU. Who was number 8? I don't even much think it was Notre Dame. Let me go in here and let me make sure that I got all of my facts straight. So who is number 8? Right? Number 10 is Texas. I know that for sure. Number 11 is Oklahoma. Right? For the guys out there that don't believe that. Let me go. Where is it at? College football playoff rankings. Let me see it. Okay. I see somebody already saying Ohio State shouldn't be number 1. Man, I'm here to tell you this here. I have no problem with Ohio State being number 1, being that those guys are the defending champions. You would never not hear me say that Ohio State was never deserving of a number 1 spot, being that they were the being that they were the defending champs from last year. They're supposed to be at number 1. They ranked Texas number 1. Hell, I'll be honest with you. Even Texas was mad at being number 1 because they had no business doing that. However, Ohio State, right? You go back and you look at those guys. Like I said, you go back way to last year. They deserved it. I mean, guys, it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is at this point. And, we keep on moving from here. So, let me see here. Number 2 was Indiana. 6. Well, 2 was Indiana. 3 was Texas A&M. 4 was Alabama. 5 was Georgia. 6 was Texas Tech. 7, that's the person I'm looking for, Ole Miss. Number 8 was... And I don't know why I don't see a number 8 anywhere. Oh, number 8 was Oregon. Number 9 was Notre Dame. Number 10 was Texas. Number 11 was Oklahoma. Number 12 was BYU. Number 13 is Utah. Number 14 is just let me go to it. I don't know why I don't see these guys in here anywhere. Let me go to this. Go to here. All right. This is where we stand. Number 13 is Vanderbilt. Okay. Shout out to all the Vandy fans that's out there. Number 14 is Georgia Tech. Number 15 is Utah. 16, Miami. 17, USC. Guys, I have come around to liking the USC Trojans. I don't know why. I just like them, mainly because I kind of feel like they're under the radar. I think that team is sneaky good, okay? That's just me. Number 18 is Michigan. This is another one, under the radar, okay? Sneaky good, very sneaky good. Guys, look, if you don't mind, please, man, just throw some money at the podcast. I keep on seeing it up there with zero. Guys, I have no clue where this money goes to, I'm being honest, but I see something where it says 325. I got no clue what that little symbol means right there. I don't know if that means it's, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'll just be honest with you. They got a symbol. I still don't have no clue what all these symbols mean. I know that's the people that's viewing. Then that's the likes. The money symbol, I know that. I don't know what I got to do to get you guys to just throw like $1 in there or something. Like I say, I don't even know where that money goes. Anyways, so 19 is Louisville, 20 is Virginia, 21 is Tennessee, 22 is Cincinnati, 23 is Pittsburgh, 24 is James Madison, but I'm not sure if that ranking is right. 23 is Pittsburgh, 24 is James Madison, they say, and then 25 is South Florida, but I'm not sure if that's right. Let me go to the actual thing. Hold on here. All right, I want to make sure all of this is right, right? I'm sorry. Okay, 13 is Utah. I'm gonna redo that again, okay? Let me redo this. So number 1 is Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3 is A&M. Number 4 is Alabama. 5 is Georgia. 6 is Texas Tech. 7 is Ole Miss. 8 is Oregon. 9 is Notre Dame. 10 is Texas. 11 is Oklahoma. 12 is BYU. 13 is Utah. 14 is Vanderbilt. 15 is Miami. 16 is Georgia Tech. 17 is USC. 18 is Michigan. 19 is Virginia. 20 is Louisville. 21 is Iowa. 22 is Pittsburgh. 23 is Tennessee. 24 is South Florida, and 25 is Cincinnati. Those are all of your college football playoff ranked teams going into, where are we at now? Going into week number 12, okay? These go by so quick, guys, all right? So we're going into week 12, all right? Somebody asked me, where's BYU? BYU is smack dead at number 12, okay? Gotta ask you, YouTube, bro. What? Gotta ask you, YouTube. Gotta ask you, too, bro. I don't have no clue what that means. Somebody talking about, hey, I don't know what that means, right? But anyways, guys, so Texas A&M falls at number 3, okay? Like I said, I have no problem with them being at number 3 at all. The problem that I always kind of have, right, which is a slight problem, is when they say, well, it was a battle between the 3 teams and how the way we were going to rank 1 through 3. It always comes up between Indiana and Texas A&M either being number 2 or number 3, okay? In which, in my case, it doesn't matter. But then again, if you're going to bat on this is the explanation to why this team was this and that team was that one. For you to come on here again the next week in a row and say something about the defense, number 1, and then backdoor and say, well, you know, like we said, you know, man, Fernando Mendoza, It's the, quarterback efficiency, the offense for Indiana. They look good. Defense, like I say, that's kind of like still a question mark in the air. Man, Indiana, they all, they're finding a way to win. Or they're finding a way to find a way. That's completely bogus to me because then you bring up the road wins by Indiana where you said that, yeah, man, they went on the road, they got the win against Oregon. Man, that was a good win, and then they got the win against Penn State, in which Penn State they were 3-5 when they played them, 9-3-6, but they won very close on the last play, I may add. But then you turn around and say, yeah, man, A&M, man, that win at Notre Dame, was a good win in which Indiana had won at Notre Dame, by the way. Man, that was a good win for, A&M on the road. And, also, man, what they did against Missouri, like that was good. But, you got to factor in Missouri, was on the third string quarterback, and blase. So you made the excuse to knock A&M down and keep them there at number 3, in which I'll go back and say I don't have a problem with. But if those are the excuses that you're going to do, then come next week when A&M possibly blows out South Carolina about 40 freaking points, what are you going to say then? Is it going to be, well, A&M, the defense looked good, but, man, it was just, it's South Carolina for crying out loud. And South Carolina isn't the team from, last year. Are we going to use that? Because I kind of got a feeling you're going to use that to say, this is why we love Texas A&M at number 3. And I don't know who Indiana plays. I don't know who Indiana plays coming up this week. But if that game is close again and it's not a good opponent per se, I don't know, man. I have no clue where you keep on going from here. Okay? So I don't know, man. It's kind of iffy on how the way you guys are doing things. But nonetheless, like I say, I'm happy that A&M is number 3. All right, because I'll tell you like a lot of Aggies will tell you right now. Hell, it's been a long time coming. It's been a very long time coming. And what Mike Elko is doing right now is he's just politely kicking in the doors respectfully. He's going in there, he's turning the knob, noticing that nobody's opening the door, but at the same time, they're not opening the door. They're also laughing behind the door because they know who's at the door. And it's Texas A&M football. So what Mike Elko has established within this program, within this culture, and within those kids is that, hey, man, they're laughing at you guys. Well, why are they laughing? They're laughing at things that happened well before you guys got here, and they're laughing at things that happened on last season. And, guess what? They're respectfully kicking in all of the doors that a lot of you guys out there, college football playoff committee, particularly said that they couldn't kick in. So they're doing it now, and, they're garnering their respect. And I expect for them to continuously keep going. And just like I told you before, I believe this team will go 12-0. I'm not going to take back what I said at all, but I believe this team will go 12-0, in which I truly think everybody wants to see them win 10 games, first off, right? But I also think that a lot of people want to see them possibly go 12-0 regular season and possibly make an LSU 2019 run. Do they have a quarterback like LSU had in 2019? No. I'll be the first one to tell you that. No, they don't. However, they have the skill players that LSU had in 2019. Okay? And possibly a better offensive line that's blocking for the guy that's throwing to those skill players. I'll honestly come on here and tell you that. Texas A&M has a better line than the 2019 LSU team. Okay? They also have a better defensive line. I'll say that as well. Do they have the better cornerbacks? No. I'm not gonna go out on the stretch and say that. They don't. But if you used to tell me that Texas A&M could possibly make a 2019 run, I'll believe you. Because I'm kind of sort of telling you that now. Okay? And a lot of people going to come on here, right? A lot of people going to say I'm crazy because we don't have a Joe Burrow. So it's no way that Texas A&M can go on a 2019 type of run, right? And go undefeated. If I'm not mistaken, whoever saw LSU coming to make a undefeated run? I really want to hear if anybody thought or seen LSU coming to make that run before they got the win in Tuscaloosa. And I say that to say this here. Texas A&M, right? And don't get me wrong, this wasn't the LSU team that everybody expected. Hell, this wasn't the LSU team that I expected. But for Texas A&M to go to Death Valley and blow them out in Death Valley, and where they hadn't won ever since they've been in the SEC, that speaks volumes still till this day. I don't care about how bad they look. I don't care about Brian Kelly getting fired the next day. That's not on Texas A&M. Texas A&M went in there on a mission, and Texas A&M knew what they had to do. It's the reason to why they are at number 3 right now. Okay? That's the win that nobody can deny them from. That's the win that nobody can take away from them. My thing is that, just like I mentioned with LSU and Alabama in 2019, if Joe Burrow walked in there and won in Tuscaloosa in 2019, that let me know in 2019 that they were on their way to either winning a national championship or just playing for one. And turns out I was right. So I'm telling you this here too. I needed to see Texas A&M go into Baton Rouge and win already. If they went in there and won, that lets me know that they're either going to win a national championship or they're going to play for one. That's what I'm telling you. That was the win that I needed to see. That was the win that a lot of us needed to see. And now, after we speak, Texas A&M is 9-0 after they beat LSU. And once again, I don't care about how LSU looks right now. It's just a simple fact of that they went in there and they done something they hadn't done at all. That spoke volume. That spoke a lot of volume. And when you do things like that, you're setting yourself up to go in a way better direction of what anybody thought you were going to go in. Okay? I'm just laying that out there, okay? So, like I say, Texas A&M comes in at number 3. Let's talk a little bit about Indiana. My thing about Indiana is that, number 1, Indiana is a very good football team. Anybody that's going to come on here and doubt Indiana from being a good football team, then I'm just going to tell you right now that you're a liar. Okay? That Indiana team is very good. That Indiana team is special. Shout out to Kurt Cinetti for just being in only his 2nd year, in which hadn't been completed yet, by the way. And he's just flat out getting it done. He's making people that were at Indiana look stupid as hell right now. And I'm going to say that again. He's making people that were at Indiana before him look stupid as hell. And that's a good thing. Kurt Cinetti, you don't go away from that, okay? You continue to do that. So, do I like Indiana? Yeah, I do. I like Indiana. I think any A&M fan can tell you that they like Indiana. I like that run that they're on. I like Fernando Mendoza. I actually do. I really like Fernando Mendoza. Should he be a Heisman favorite right now? Yeah, he should. He should. He's doing what no other Indiana quarterback has ever done in that program, period. And if you guys are going to come on here and tell me that, no, you're a lie, well, then go and check the stats, man, because there's not nobody that's better than him that's ever been at that program. And if he wins a Heisman, he's going to solidify that. And after that, he's going to get a damn statue built. Okay? So, yeah, is Indiana good? Yeah. Do I make a case for Indiana being in the top 4 or top 3 and nothing less? Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. They look good. Okay? I haven't really seen what their running is about because we always talk about the quarterback, okay? The wide receivers are very good. You know, they have good skill players. I think the thing that people don't talk about is their offensive line. Their offensive line is nice. I also think something that people don't talk about is that how that team is full of veterans again. This is what makes championship teams. Veterans. Seriously, man, veterans, leadership, okay? Leadership. But that's really all I have for Indiana. Do they have flaws? Yes, they got flaws like any other team. But do they have people that are willing to step up to the challenge? And do they have people that are used to winning? Yes, they do. They have people that are used to winning. Yes. Okay? So it is what it is. All right. Ohio State. Where do I start at with Ohio State? Right? I'm not going to start with the Julian Sain chance that everybody wants me to start at and where everybody has been going to. My thing with Ohio State was that, number one, Julian Sain, I don't know if people forget this or not, but Julian Sain committed to Ohio State. People in the SEC knew who the hell Julian Sain was before Ohio State knew who he was. We know the guy. We knew what he was capable of. Now the thing is that Julian Sain is a little bit further into his development, but Julian Sain is surrounded with 5-star wide receivers. 4-star and 5-star wide receiver. Hell, mainly 5 stars. Guys, we know good and goddamn well Ohio State produced 5-star wide receivers. It's nobody that's going to come on here and tell you that they don't. We know this already. Julian Sain is doing what he was supposed to be doing, using his talent around him. Is the Ohio State offensive line that good? They're okay. I don't think they're better than Indiana and Texas A&M, if I'm being honest with you. I just think that the talent that surrounds them and the talent that's behind them makes up for a lack of a couple of things. Should the number 1 ranking be torn off of Ohio State? Hell no. You leave them at number 1 until proven otherwise. Okay? Once again, I'll come on there and tell you this wholeheartedly. You leave them at number 1 until proven otherwise. All right? Another thing with Ohio State. Why is nobody talking about the Ohio State defensive coordinator being a former NFL defense coordinator? Did you guys not know that he coached the Patriots as a DC when he was there? For whatever reason, I can't remember his name. So, of course, their defense is going to be damn good. He's coming in there with a Bill Belichick Patriots staff mind frame to say, hey, man, we're here to do one job. I know y'all asses are college students, by the way, college athletes, but we're here to do one job. You get in and get out. Yeah, guys, they're going to look like NFL stars already. They have a former defensive coordinator that's a defensive coach. They're supposed to look like that. Also, Ohio State is supposed to look like that when you're that damn dominant in the conference that they play in. That's my thing. That's my biggest thing with Ohio State. But I've also realized that Ohio State can't do nothing about how the way teams recruit to the level of how they recruit. because they're going to get all the 5 stars. They're going to get the 4 stars, okay? They're going to get some of the 3 stars that come there. Hell, they're even going to get kids that are unranked, period, okay? But it's all about how you put them together and make it work. And this is what Ohio State has been doing. I have no problem with it, okay? As of right now, as of today's date, and before this season even started, in which I wish people would start looking at this, stop clouding your mind with, oh, I'm not going to look at, some of this stuff with the college team talent and stuff like that. Ohio State is ranked number 3 nationally in college team talent. And where do I get this stuff from? 247. If 247 ain't good for nothing else, they're good for putting out accurate numbers when it comes to college team talent. Okay? Ohio State, once again, is number 3 in the nation so far as 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star recruits all been on the same team within that same year. You want to know who has the number 1 most talented team? The Alabama Crimson Tide, in which I'll get to them in just a minute here. You want to know who's after them, though? The Georgia Bulldogs. These are things that people don't want to talk about. I'm going to say it again. The number 1 most talented team in all of college football right now is still the Alabama Crimson Tide. Regardless of what you think about those guys, they have the number 1 most talented team. Number 2 is Georgia. Number 3 is Ohio State. So when you guys say this, and that, I always kind of counter that, and I say, well, Ohio State will continue to be one of the most, or not the most dominant team in the Big Ten because of mainly their talent, man. Yeah, coaching is a part of that, right? In which Ryan Day, he stepped his damn game up. He has. He's really stepped it up. But you're not going to sit up here and try to belittle me on, oh, well, man, Ohio State got it tough too. No, they don't. Not when you got all the goddamn talent. You literally have all the talent. And all the teams that you're playing against, they're not that talented as you, man. They're like literally probably double digits away from the talent that you have. And we're talking about like 10 to 15 spots down from where you're ranked at. Indiana is the only one that's made an exception of they are the number 72nd team, either 72nd or number 60 plus when it comes to college team talent that's in the top 5 right now. I'll say that again. That's in the top 5 right now. That's unheard of. And that'll forever be unheard of as long as Kurt Signetti is there. But I think they'll get the recruiting up. Okay? We keep going here, all right? So Ohio State's Ohio State. I'll tell you this, and I'm starting to see more Ohio State fans like crazy talking about A&M for whatever reason. To you Ohio State fans and everybody that's on board with Ohio State, period, I'll tell you like I told you once before. I'm not that big of a fan of Ohio State. Mainly because I like Michigan more. I've always liked Michigan. But you guys are a fake SEC team in the Big Ten. And I say that wholeheartedly. You guys want to be the SEC so bad that you go and, of course, you recruit like how the SEC recruits because you know that that's how you're going to be able to stay in the mix, and that's how you're actually going to win national titles. Because you have to do what the SEC is doing, and you have to recruit first. So I'm glad you guys have gotten that on out the way, but you guys are a fake SEC team in the Big Ten. It's a reason to why when you guys, excluding Tennessee, excluding Texas, by the way, in which I believe that when you guys go to Texas next year, you're going to lose. But it's a reason to why in the national championship games that we've seen you guys play in, when it's the SEC involved and you're playing the SEC in the national championship, you come out of there with a blowout loss. And you know I'm not lying. I'm going to say it again. You know I ain't lying. Your ass has come out of there with a blowout loss. I done seen you get your ass wiped by LSU in a national championship game way back in 2000, I think 11 or 12. It was one of them. No, 2000. What was that? 2000 something. I've seen you get drugged. I've seen you get drugged by Alabama in a 2020 national title game, in which you're going to tell me that was because of COVID, right? In which if that was because of COVID, y'all guys should have never been in there in the first place. But I've seen you get hung 50 some on you right there, right? And then there's a couple of more other times. All right. So yeah, when you guys are on that big stage, like national championship against an SEC opponent, you guys tend to get beat bad. So, you know, I'll just throw that out there. Does that mean you guys are going to get beat bad this year? Probably not. You got to put up a hell of a fight? Yeah, you do. But once again, I'm seeing a lot of you call us out for whatever reason, in which, man, nobody's coming for you. But if you want that smoke, then, hey, you know, it is what it is, you know. And, of course, you guys bring up 1939. You guys bring up how Texas is the quote-unquote big brother. And, you know, you guys bring up, oh, man, y'all been the doormat so long for the SEC, which ain't true at all. But then you bring up the SEC. I notice nobody talks about the Southwest Conference days, though. Because, yeah, you beat us. You did beat us when we was in Southwest Conference. And it was in the Cotton Bowl. We know this already. We ain't played your ass since. I'll tell you like this here. We remember. We remember. We hadn't forgotten. So if we do get that opportunity, in which I believe we probably will, that we ain't going to be for the Cotton Bowl. Y'all said it is what it is. And once again, your ass is a fake SEC team. And, you know, you guys want to come and get a lot of kids from down south. That's where you guys recruit at. You guys do recruit down south. However, lately you've been in California. I know this part. I watch recruiting people. So we'll move along here, okay? That's for Ohio State. If you guys want to throw it out, y'all show them the video. I don't really care. Put it out there, and it is what it is, okay? I said what I said. Now we're going to move along. So, now we move to Alabama being number 4, right? And I'll talk about the top 5 teams. Alabama at 4 reminds me of Texas A&M. Excuse me. Reminds me of Texas A&M in 2020, where it's totally different now because, Bama is 4, right? But we were just knocking on the door, and nobody let us in at all. And I mean, nobody let us in. This is my thing with Alabama. Not we. People are doing their best to prop up the Alabama wins, in which there's some good wins, by the way, okay? 4 ranked teams, 1 that isn't ranked anymore, but on the road, right, just as much as A&M. But this is the thing that kills me, in which I believe Alabama and Texas A&M will see each other in the SEC championship game. So, you know, hey, we'll do our talking there, in which Alabama has been there 50 freaking times already, right? In which is going to be A&M's first. This is what I will say. If you're going to prop up the wins for Alabama, then you damn sure better not excuse that loss that they got to Florida State. This is why I say Alabama reminds me of that 2020 Texas A&M team. What did we see in 2020 regarding Texas A&M and them staying at the number 5 spot, and where it was only 4 teams that year? They continuously said that team lost to Alabama when Alabama was unarguably the number 1 team, had a plethora of wide receivers that was NFL talent, right? Had NFL talent on defense, running back, So look, quarterback went first round, running back went first round, 2 wide receivers went first round, offensive lineman went first round, and also somebody on that defense, I think the defensive lineman went first round. They told Texas A&M this. Y'all lost to Alabama, y'all lost bad. And which was a bad loss, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But that was to NFL talent that went undefeated that year. Now you have Alabama this year, and they lost to Florida State. Name me a talent that's on Florida State right now that's going to end up in the NFL after this year. I'll win. Exactly, I'm back. It ain't going to be the quarterback. It's not going to be the offensive lineman over there. It's not going to be any wide receivers. It's not going to be no defensive lineman. It's not going to be no defensive backs like that. Why? Because that team is 4-5. A&M finished out the season 8-1 that year, right? Regular season 9-1 because of the damn Orange Bowl. But you told A&M that they couldn't get in because they lost to Alabama. You felt like Notre Dame was better. And you felt like good old Ohio State was the shit. With their 6 wins, 6-0 by the way. And guess what? Ohio State should have lost to Indiana that year. But y'all don't want to talk about that. They should have lost to Indiana that year. But you don't want to talk about that. Okay? Somebody in here talking about Carolina going to upset Texas A&M. That's fine. Come on, bring it, baby. Bring it. Bring it. We're waiting on you. Please believe that Texas A&M, they didn't forget about that game last year. Oh, we never forgot. Now, South Carolina isn't a good football team this year. I know this part. But we don't care. We don't care. I already got something out that's in my mind. I just hadn't posted it yet. The over and under for Lenore Sellers getting sacked on Saturday morning. The over and under is 10 over, under 10. I got his ass sacked. I got his ass getting sacked 10 times. 10 times by that A&M defense. Why? Because we missed you at least 20 times on last year. We missed sacking your ass at least 20 times last year. This year, you're not getting away from them sacks, bud. No, you're not getting away from them sacks, bud. You better hope everybody chip out. You better hope so, okay? You better hope so. But shout out to the Georgia fan in here saying, go Dogs, okay? I'm about to get to you next, right? But Alabama is a 2020 Texas A&M team where they're knocking on the outside of the top 3, but they're good in the top 4. I feel like, look, and like I said, I do have Alabama and Texas A&M in the SEC championship, and we'll settle then. I feel like Texas A&M is going to beat Alabama in the SEC championship. Yeah, I said it. Right, in which a lot of people don't want to believe this, but the Texas A&M in Alabama games, they've been good to a certain part. I think Jimbo brought it back to where we thought it would be at with Kevin Sumlin, right? For in all those years in which Jimbo lost, pretty bad those first 2 seasons. But in the end, right, in those last 3 seasons, Jimbo started playing Alabama close. He won one, lost the other. In which was that was like in his last 2 seasons, right? He won that one, came back, horrible year that next year, but almost had beat in the last 3 seasons. Yeah, I'm true. And almost had beat Alabama, I want to say 2 straight times, right? 2 straight times. But then that last and final season that Jimbo had, he lost that one close. So I do like the A&M in Alabama game, right? That did kind of start being one of my favorite games because not only A&M fans are prepared for it and get up for it because it's like, man, look, bro, boy, we beat Alabama, right? But also Alabama fans saying to themselves, like, nah, man, y'all tripping, man. Hey, man, A&M got some dudes, you know? And it has been a good back and forth battle, like, until all that broke up, after last season. Next year, I think that's when we get Alabama back. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to Tuscaloosa next year. So that'll be a game that's watched in this household. And I'll probably have a little something for it. Okay. For this SEC championship game, I think I'm going to be gone. But I have it on my phone playing, of course. And hey man, we'll see what's what. But like I say, Alabama is just that 2020 version of Texas A&M. Thing that gets me is that Alabama has no running game, right? And I think I can hold a little something over Alabama. Like that game against LSU, I know LSU plays them tough, but this is what I heard when Texas A&M played LSU in 2020. This supposed to be number 5 team in the country, and they're playing like dog shit. If they want to get in, blah blah blah, they got to play better than this. And this is literally what they told us. And I heard this on live TV from that commentator. He said that A&M wasn't playing good, although A&M beat beat LSU by 2 scores. LSU ended up scoring with a late touchdown to make it 7-20. Even when we were up 20-0, that guy still said, "No, man, this didn't look like a number 5 team in the country." This is literally what they said. Now I'm kind of telling Bama that same thing. They won against LSU 22-9. That's damn near a similar score of what A&M won against LSU in 2020. That's crazy to me. But nobody's calling out Bama because it's 12-team playoff. It's kind of like, man, what the hell y'all want Alabama to do? They won a game, keep going, right? Alabama has a lot of flaws. Ty Simpson, I said Ty Simpson was going to be good this year. Ty Simpson is turning out to be the man in which he's going to lead Bama to the playoffs. Like that's to me, that's a wrap, right? You got to worry about Oklahoma though. I do think Oklahoma can probably pull up an upset, but we'll see. Okay, we will see. This guy here, hold on, guys. This guy here, a Gamecock fan. Texas A&M will get 0 sacks on Lenore Sellers, even with his garbage O-line. Man, I'm not even much going to respond to that. All I'm going to say is that the game is at 11 a.m. on Saturday, and we will see Lenore Sellers at Kyle Field. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say, but I'm not going to go back and forth with you, and it is what it is, okay? So I'm moving on here. Somebody said, do you think Georgia will win the SEC championship? And that's the Georgia fan. I don't even much think Georgia was going to play in the SEC championship. The only way Georgia will get there, number one, I do have Georgia beating Texas. Right. I do got Georgia beating Texas. But somebody else talking about Georgia versus Texas A&M natty. That'll be good, but I don't think Georgia's going to make it to the national title game this year. That's just me. But I mean, only way Georgia gets there is number one, they need Alabama to lose twice inside of the conference. I'll tell you right now, that ain't happening. That ain't happening at all. So, I mean, it is what it is on that. Georgia has already lost to Alabama, in which Alabama is tied for first place in the SEC right now, along with A&M. They're not. Man, if Alabama don't lose to Oklahoma, I don't know where else Alabama will lose at. I do believe they go to Tuscaloosa. I do believe they go to Auburn. Woo-hoo. It's hard to win out there. Alabama knows this, and I don't think they're going to make it easy for them either. But, boy, that'll be the upset of the century. They lose that game, wow. All right, last but not least, Georgia. Good old Georgia Bulldogs. I said this about Kirby Smart. I watched Kirby Smart go and build that program And he was another one where I seen him kick in a door and he went to places where people said that Georgia wouldn't go to. Okay? Which is the national championship is one of. Georgia at number 5 is good at number 5, right? I don't think that's going to change. The thing about Georgia is that Georgia number 1 is going to have to find a running game sooner or later. And their defensive line is going to have to come alive. I think their defensive line will come alive in this Texas game, right? Because I still don't believe in that Texas O-line. But can they sustain that? Can they be consistent? You know, and can they keep on going? I still like Georgia, man. I do. And it's because of Kirby Smart. That's just it. It's because of Kirby Smart. Like, Kirby Smart in my eyes at times, he can't do no wrong. He can't. He was a guy that broke away from the Nick Saban tree, and he went and formed his own tree. And his tree is very successful, and he's still doing his thing at Georgia right now. If Georgia goes in, which they've been on a run for like over a decade now, right? Or close to a decade. Georgia is still going to be that team. Like, Georgia, understand this when I say this. Kirby Smart is no Mark Rich. And he showed you that. And he's not backing away from it, okay? Georgia's going to remain at number 5. Georgia's going to fail to be in the college football playoffs. And that's just them. That's how they play. They're going to forever hold a top 4 spot in recruiting. They're going to forever hold a top 4 spot as long as Kirby Smart is there in college team talent consistently. The thing about Georgia is that they're going to get on the field and they're going to ask you, can you beat them? That's the mindset that they have. And that's just that, you know. I don't know, you know. It's nothing that's going to change that mindset of Kirby Smart and what he's instilled in Georgia. All right. Yeah, I know they've had their issues, you know, with the kids speeding and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, I don't know if they got kicked under the rug or if that's just Kirby has nipped that in the bud and said, hey, man, you're not going to do all of this, right? And you're going to have to go on about your business. But Georgia number 5, I think they deserve to be there. But another one I do think deserve to be up there, but they got beat by Georgia, right? Is Ole Miss. You don't really hear me talk about Ole Miss as much. But I like Ole Miss, right? I really do. I like Ole Miss. I like Trinidad Chambers. I still don't think that Ole Miss defense is good, right? And that's just what it is. But I do like the direction that Lane Kiffin is going with that program now. And I just like the simple fact that Lane Kiffin has grown his ass up. All right? Because for a long time, Lane Kiffin didn't want to grow up. He's grown up now. So that's real good. Man, that's how I was going to stop at Georgia. That's crazy. Now I'm going to keep on going. But Georgia's settled. I don't think it's no issue with Georgia. Number 6, Texas Tech. Look, I heard Amanda and Billy Lucci talk about Texas Tech, mainly Amanda, right? And that's the Moving the Goalposts podcast, right? And Amanda said this, and I guess I didn't just really watch the game, but hell, I did watch the game. Amanda said that, man, if you really seen that game, watched that game, they were moving so slow. But the reasons for why they probably were moving slow was because you can tell a difference from Big 12 and SEC. They move faster. Hell, you can tell a difference from Big 12 and Big 10. They move faster. The players are better. I don't know what else you want to hear. The players are better, right? And it is what it is. You know, and I mean, hey, Texas Tech is a good football team. They have Jordan McGuire. I like that dude, and of course, us, right, in the state of Texas, hell, we already know who the guy is. We know who he is. It is what it is. That guy is good shit. Jordan McGuire's going to be there for a long time. And anybody who thinks Joey ain't going to be there for a long time is kind of crazy, but you're also thinking to yourself that Joey is going to leave and go to another school. Man, I'm going to tell you this right now. Joey ain't leaving Texas Tech. He's not. Why? Because he's loyal to Texas Tech. And he's loyal to that school because that was the only school that gave him an opportunity to come in and be their head coach, coming from out of high school. Well, coming from a high school football head coach. Joey ain't leaving. He's not leaving. A lot of people come in, well, if you want to win that tonight, you got to leave. Man, I'm looking at Indiana being number 2 in the ranking right now. I'm looking at Texas Tech being number 6 in the ranking right now. I'm looking at A&M being number 3 in the damn ranking right now. We're in times where you don't have to go to no damn blue blood school. You just need to get a staff in place. You need to get a couple of kids to buy into what you're talking about. And there go your team right there. That could be a dominant team. Indiana, by the way. Right? And you can do your thing. Texas Tech ain't going anywhere, man. Like, seriously. Texas Tech ain't going anywhere. I like what they're doing. And man, I'm behind Jordan McGuire. I ain't behind Texas Tech like that, but I'm behind Jordan McGuire. And it is what it is because I like Jordan McGuire as a head coach. And I like that he has Texas Tech now looking like a school where kids actually want to go to. I don't know if you guys noticed this. A lot of y'all probably ain't been looking at the podcast that long, right? Shout out to a lot of guys coming in here, Texas fans included. Man, I'm a sucker for the state of Texas, bro. I love when these Texas teams are doing their damn thing because it makes it hard for these kids to leave the state. That's what I'm a fan of. I can't stand when the kids leave the state and go to other schools. But guess what? I get it. They have to. It is what it is. My son plays sports. Shit. He likes Ohio State. Guess what? If he goes to Ohio State, I'm going to be the biggest damn Ohio State fan. But I'm going to still be acting. And it is what it is. But Texas Tech is good. I like the defense. Their quarterback went down, right? I know this part, but I do like their defense, right? We keep on going. And I like to see the scene in Texas Tech when that team is really freaking good, okay? So they're number 6. Number 7, Ole Miss. I already had talked about them. 8 is Oregon. I just don't know about Oregon too much. I don't know if they're a good team or if they're a bad team. I do know that the little youngster for Oregon, that's the quarterback, he is good, but you can tell he's still young. I just don't know the read on Oregon. Okay, I do know that they'll be in the playoffs. I will say that, but I just don't know the read on them. I don't. I just don't. I do like Dan Lanning as a head coach, though. If anybody that doesn't like Dan Lanning as a head coach, man, y'all really got to tell me the reason why. Because Dan Lanning talk that shit. He'll back it up now. He'll back it up against Indiana, but he'll back it up. But it's kind of like, man, you can't call out Dan Lanning and expect for the outcome to be pretty much on your side because he is a coach that he'll take that. He'll show it. Hey, that's what they saying about you. He'll roll. But that's another one that came from that Kirby Smart tree. I like what he's building. I think Oregon will win their first championship. Probably a couple of years down the road. But I do like what they're building. Okay. Yes, Oregon can win a national championship. Hell, they played for one. They can win one, guys. Come on now. All right. Number 9. Who's the number 9 team? Notre Dame. I'm a Jeremiah Love fan. I am. I'm also a Marcus Freeman fan. I am. I like that dude. He's built that program tougher than what Brian Kelly had the damn program at. And it's a lot of kids that like being around. They buy into him. They know what's what. Uh, I'm not mad at how the way the committee is viewing Notre Dame because they are a good football team, right? That game was very close against Texas A&M. That game was very close against Miami. If you replay that game again, I'll tell you right now, A&M was going to win that game. You replay it again, right? And I will say that, but uh, man, you take another quarterback like Ty Simpson and you put him on Notre Dame. Notre Dame probably be undefeated right now, right? And that has to come with a win against A&M, right? But I don't know, man. There's something about Notre Dame that I do like, right? No, it ain't because we beat them and we need them to keep winning. It ain't that. But I like Marcus Freeman. I like Jeremiah Love. I like the quarterback that they got because I think they have a real quarterback now. Okay? So I think Notre Dame is good. Number 10 is Texas. I'm an Aggie. So y'all got to remember this. I don't think Texas is a top 10 team. I don't. I don't even much think Texas thinks they're a top 10 team. I don't know, man. They beat Vanderbilt, right? You got to give them that. And it is what it is. But you're not going to sit up here and convince me that Arch Manning is the guy this year because he's not. I'm going to flat out tell you that he's not. I do think their defense is good, but their defense is starting to get exposed on the back end of their season. I really do. I don't think that defensive line is all that like how we say it is. They're good. You ain't finna hear me not say that they're not good, but they ain't all that, right? That offensive line will man. I'm telling you right now, if it's not Georgia that's showing up on that offensive line, it ain't gonna be Arkansas. I can tell you that much. It will be Texas A&M, and Texas A&M remembers these losses. This is the reason why I spoke highly of them this year. They remember these losses. Okay, Auburn kept them out. South Carolina embarrassed them. In Texas, they kept them out too because Texas was playing for a spot in the SEC championship game. Nobody has forgotten that. Okay, so yeah, it's the rivalry game. I understand that, but nobody has forgotten that. I don't give a damn if Texas. I don't give a damn if A&M is already in the SEC championship game. They've already solidified their spot. I don't care. They're coming for revenge. But yeah, I just don't think Texas is a top 10 team. And like I said before, I don't think their fan base even thinks they're a top 10 team right now. And I don't blame them. Like, what have they done to show you that they're a top 10 team? So I don't know. I got a huge question mark on that. But it is what it is, man. They made it this far, and I mean you can't change it. It is what it is. All right, they go out to Georgia, and I don't think Georgia's going to blow them out, but I think Georgia wins that ball game. Man, I think it's close, but I think it's close because of certain things, right? And that's just pretty much it. Uh, then again, I can see that game being a blowout too. All right, so we keep going. Oklahoma at 11. I was never fully bought in on Oklahoma. I think they're a good team. I was never fully bought in on John Mateer. I didn't know that guy. All right, it is what it is. Um, I do think they have one of the better defenses, though. Good God Almighty, man! That defensive line, their defensive line looks like the old 2000 Oklahoma, 2000s Oklahoma, Bob Stoop days, like prime days Oklahoma. That's how I feel about them. And then at number 12, BYU. I don't know what to say about BYU because I just haven't watched. So, I don't think they're that good, but man, they're 8-1. I don't know what you want them to do other than just keep on winning games. And they find a way, just like Indiana. But they didn't find a way against Texas Tech. So, and that was a blowout. So it is what it is. But guys, that's it. I've been talking about an hour, been rambling along, man. I gotta go in here. I think everybody just went to sleep on me. Remind you, it ain't number like 9:20. But I love all of you. Okay. Please make sure that you continuously tune into the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe, that like button. Make sure you guys start dumping some money into that thing. Okay. But as we do it always, guys, I love you. Hashtag Giggle Aggies. Woo!